I never believed in ghosts. As a rational and logical person, I dismissed the supernatural as mere stories meant to scare children. However, my skepticism was shattered one chilling autumn evening when I inherited Hawthorn Manor from my deceased great-aunt, Lady Eleanor. The mansion was a colossal structure, draped in ivy, standing stoically amidst an overgrown garden. Its presence alone was enough to send shivers down my spine. Despite my reluctance, I moved in, determined to renovate and sell it for a substantial profit. The first few weeks were uneventful, with only eerie creaks and moans from the old building. But as the days wore on, inexplicable events began to unfold. Late at night, I would hear faint whispers echoing through the empty halls. Books would fly off shelves, seemingly propelled by an unseen force. Doors would slam shut with a deafening bang, even though there was no wind. Initially, I blamed it on my nerves, the stress of living alone in a massive ancient mansion. But as the occurrences intensified, I couldn't ignore the growing sense of dread that gnawed at my soul. One stormy night, I awoke to find my bedroom window wide open, despite remembering securely closing it. The chilling breeze sent a shiver down my spine as I noticed a shadowy figure standing at the foot of my bed. Its features were obscured, but the malevolence it exuded was palpable. Paralyzed with fear, I watched as it disappeared into thin air. My investigation into the history of Hawthorn Manor revealed that it had a dark past. Lady Eleanor, my great-aunt, was rumored to dabble in occult practices, seeking forbidden knowledge and immortality. Some locals whispered that she struck a sinister pact with a malevolent entity, but I dismissed it all as old wives' tales. However, the evidence of something sinister lurking within the walls was too overwhelming to ignore. I sought the help of paranormal experts who confirmed my fears. Hawthorn Manor was haunted. The experts suggested that I perform a cleansing ritual to rid the house of the malevolent presence. Desperate to restore my sanity and reclaim my life, I followed their instructions meticulously. Candles flickered as incantations filled the air, but as the ritual reached its climax, an unnatural force began to rage through the mansion. The very walls seemed to breathe and the ground trembled beneath my feet. Books flew off the shelves and the whispers grew into wails of torment. In a panic, I tried to flee, but the doors slammed shut, trapping me inside with whatever malevolent force inhabited this cursed place. With no other choice, I barricaded myself in my bedroom, clutching a crucifix for dear life. Hours passed in a blur of terror until, suddenly, an unearthly silence fell upon the house. The air felt heavy, laden with the lingering presence of something malevolent. I summoned the courage to venture out, only to find the mansion transformed. Portraits on the walls twisted into grotesque faces, and the elegant furniture morphed into macabre shapes. The very architecture of the mansion seemed to contort and writhe in agony. Desperation pushed me forward, determined to end this nightmare. Armed with a relic I found in Lady Eleanor's belongings, I descended into the cellar, where she was rumored to have conducted her sinister rituals. In the depths of the dark cellar, I confronted a terrifying sight. The malevolent entity stood before me, a grotesque amalgamation of shadows and screams. It reached out with spectral tendrils, threatening to consume me entirely. Summoning every ounce of willpower, I brandished the relic and recited an incantation. The mansion quaked, and the entity screeched in agony as its hold over Hawthorn Manor began to weaken. With one final surge of energy, I banished the malevolent presence back to the abyss from whence it came. The house settled, returning to its former state as if the horror had never occurred. I sold Hawthorn Manor soon after, eager to put the terrifying chapter of my life behind me. Even now, as I recount the haunting at Hawthorn Manor, I can't shake the feeling that the malevolent presence